out. Now, I got a little story to share with you before I get quilting here or sewing here. I can't see the chat, so um, hang on a second. Oh, wonder if these glasses will work. Hang on a second. I bought the wrong kind of glasses once, and these ended up being, instead of computer glasses, they ended up being regular glasses. Let me see if I can see any. No, I can't see any better. I'll have to look. So, where's the live chat? There's the live chat. So, what's happened is my power's gone out. Checked with my neighbor just to make sure it's not just me. And the problem was, if you can tell by my wet hair, I was in the middle of a shower when the power went out. Now, where I live, my pump, I have a pump and it is run. Yeah, I know, I got a huge nose. I'm just starting to notice that. So I'm in the middle of a shower. Thank God my hair was washed and rinsed because it's always the first thing I do. And I got myself covered in a nice frothy layer of friggin' soap and the power went out. And although I could have probably rinsed off, I would have caused a problem with the pressure in the pump by draining the tank. So I shut the water off. Gracie started barking like somebody's here. Now there's a backstory to this because my brother Bill and my cousin Leo are going to come up. They said one Wednesday, and I said, you got to give me more notice than that because my house is torn apart. I still haven't taken down all my plant table stuff. I can't read the chat, guys, and I can't have it on the TV. So, see if I can get you guys just a little bit closer so I can see the chat just a little bit better. Hang on. So anyway, I'm covered in, get this, I'm covered in soap from ears to friggin' toes. Gracie starts, the power goes out and Gracie starts barking as if somebody's here. Now here I am thinking, I'm gonna have to greet my brother and my cousin at the door, covered in soap, wrapped in a towel, with the power out, and trying to keep Gracie from eating my cousin Leo because I don't think she's ever met him. But that wasn't the case, thank God. Nobody was here. Gracie was just being paranoid. So I had just made myself, can you read that? I had just made myself a half gallon of sweet tea. Thank you. And I had a bag of ice in the freezer for my ice machine. So I come out into the kitchen, make sure nobody's knocking on my door. I have an electric pump, water pump, that I just put the little hose down inside my 5-gallon water bottle and press the button, and you have to charge it up, but it was charged up, thank God. So I had to pump myself off a gallon or two of water of that into jars and get back into the shower and rinse all the soap off my body. Then get dressed and plug this, my chair, and my big box fan into the Veto Man. Into the Veto Man. So I've used up 2%. Just getting my chair in position. So that's what's going on. But I wanted to show you that I finished. Come here. That I finished this row, and I'm now sewing it on. And I think I've got this way too far on one side. I do. Shoot, that should have been, oh well. So I'm sewing it onto here. And that's what I'm doing today. I'm sorry I'm not going to be able to watch the chat. I've got YouTube on my TV, but the TV is obviously out of power. I have YouTube on my TV, but I can't figure out how to find my own I got my channel, but I can't figure out how to find the live stream. Hey, so Laura. Okay, so hear the ice? All right. So now that I've got that, I'm going to turn the phone around here. And hopefully you guys will be able to watch. Oh! I think the power just turned, it's trying to come back on. Oh, power's back on. All right, give me a second. And I'm going to plug everything. I've got to plug the, yes, I got cords and everything here. I've got to plug the Vito Man into the wall to charge up. It's only lost 3%. But we don't know what the power is going to be like. And then I got to plug this extension cord back into the wall that's running my phone. Gracie, say hello to everybody while Mommy works here. Say hi. Hush. Hush. Unplug you from here, plug you in here. Unplug you from here, plug you in here. And I'll let Howie, I'm not going to charge it up. It's only got 3% now. Oh. Now my chair's doing its moving things around. Every time the power goes out or comes back on, my chair resets itself. That's why I had to plug it in, because I couldn't raise my feet. It's been raining evenings here in Louisiana. I wish we'd get... It's supposed to rain here all next week. All next week. Okay, now I'm getting my chair up here. And see if I can't get you guys. Oops. Maybe I can get this up. Hang on a second. Maybe I can get this up just a little bit higher and then bring it over the back of my chair. And that might be easier. Whoops. For you guys. It can get awkward here, folks. No, that's not going to work either. All right, let's just come here. It's okay. It was hooked on a cord there. Sorry. Yes, that's Briar's quilt folded up and my other quilt that I'm working on. All righty. Now, so you can see here, honest to God, what's going on here? There we go. I'll try and sit at an angle for you. So you can see here, the way this works, let me just finish this one little bit here. That's wrapped around. Oh, come on. Oops, get you out of here. Okay. All right, let's... There we go. I got my needle all... It's under here. Oh, for the love of God. Oh, that's this. This is the problem. There we go. There we go. And I'm just going to get it. Now, let's see if I can't zoom just... How's that? I'll keep my eye on the picture, but I can't watch the chat, folks. It is so hot today, I decided to take today off just to have a shower. Well, not take today off. Like, I've got a video up for tomorrow. And it's so hot, I didn't want to garden. I don't want to do nothing. So it's dishes, supper, and quilting. I had a nice shower. Okay. So as you can see, you have a zigzag pattern going on. God, I hope I did this right. And these all have to be sewn in. Can you, whoops. I guess you can't see that, so. This strip, okay, is being sewn onto the main block here. And you can see it's an awkward way to sew, but you can see how it's supposed to look. Whoa, whoa. I can't control the, all right, so we have to go seam by seam. Like this. Line it all up right where I sewed it the last time. There we go. There we go. Wait till you see tomorrow's video, folks. I always do the first stitch twice. I want to get this piece on so I can start sewing the next strip. And when I have this block, this as long as I want it, I will start on another one. I'm figuring it's going to take 3 long blocks to make me a queen size quilt. Now what have I done? It's the cheap thread. I do have cotton thread, but I don't have it in large quantities because it's really old. And I save it for special. What are you barking at now? What are you barking at? Did you just have a dream? Did you fart and startle yourself? What? Stop. You're being a doofus. Nobody's in the driveway. I've got to fill up the hummingbird feeder on my thing. I still have not figured out how to live stream. I may have to purchase the $7 a month app to actually do live streaming. I don't know. But when I get enough footage, I will put together a little video. But I've got to fill up the hummingbird feeder because I saw a hummingbird come to the camera today. It was so small I thought it was a bumblebee at first. There we go. We do a double stitch. Oh no, I go right across here. That's right, I go right across here. This is my one long, nice long seam. These are those seersucker pedal pushers that I wore to... I have a picture of me wearing them on the day of Arthur's prom. I'm standing beside him with the t-shirt, and the t-shirt was plain blue. And he's in his tux, and I'm wearing these pedal pushers. Memories, like the corners of my mind. It's a little high for me. Misty watercolor memories of the way we... Why is this getting caught on stuff? We were... Talked to my son Arthur today. He's had his electrical inspection. Everything's cool. Now he can start closing in the walls and laying hardwood. Yay! I'm so proud of him. He's done this whole renovation with help, yes, occasionally for the bulk stuff with, you know, my nephews and his brother, and who came down to visit and stuff, and his, you know, Howie going to help with some drywall. But for the most part, he's done 90% of that work himself. And I am so proud of him. This is the problem you have with crappy, cheap polyester thread. It gets caught. You can't come up here, Gracie. You can't come up here, Gracie. Mommy's sewing. Pull down. Let's see if I can move this just a little bit so you can see just a little bit better. There we go. I'll call Briar later. I've been rewatching the series Downton Abbey. I don't know what it is about British television, but I prefer it over Canadian and American. Except for American Justice. We're watching well, we just watched the first 2 seasons of American Justice. Really good show. Really good show. Oh no, American Rust. American Rust, that's what it was. So now, this has to come up. Like this. And be lined up with the point on the yellow. I'm making bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwiches for supper tonight. Because I tell you, I ain't cooking, not even with a crock pot. But wait till you see what I made for supper last night, and you will love it. It's tomorrow's video. See, we start right in at the corner where we finished. Always do a double stitch. It's a thing with me. I do a double stitch at the beginning and end of the row, at the beginning and the end of the seam, and halfway down. Why do I... Can you see what I'm even... Can you even see what I'm doing? It's a pain in the butt if you have to take a seam apart because you've stitched it so well. However, I want it really stitched well. So I'm going to go back through this middle stitch here, like that. And then I'm going to make my way to the edge. This is like watching paint dry, isn't it, folks? Or golf. I don't know how people can watch things like tennis and golf. Mind you, I can watch Texas Hold'em poker and not get bored, but then I'm a poker player, or used to be a poker player. I miss poker so much. Right to the corner. It would be better if I didn't make my thread so long, but because it gets stupid. But I hate rethreading my needle every, 20 minutes or so. And we are at the corner. Take that out. And now we have to go up the other side of this pedal pusher. And I only have one of these blocks that I'm aware of, because I had to take one apart and it frayed so bad I couldn't use it again. I couldn't fix it. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to get this all set up in the corner, and then we're going to come through all the layers in one. See this? This is where we ended, right here, and I'm going to go back through here and bring it forward to the new seam. And give it a little double stitch. Folks, I am self-taught, so don't necessarily go by my standards on how to do things. This kind of quilt has to be done by hand. Yes, you can do it you can sew these blocks on a machine. But originally, the blocks were much bigger than this. But I made them smaller, which, sometimes I wish I hadn't done. But I made them smaller because this is the quilt. This is the challenge. This quilt, maybe it's not called a Texas Star. Maybe it's called the Lone Star quilt. I don't know. But this quilt has been, from the very first day I started quilting and I bought a scrap quilt book, this was the one that would tell me I had arrived when it came to quilt making. If I could do this quilt, then I knew I was a good quilter. I'm not going to say perfect or professional or anything like that. Now, you see how we've gone from here. Oh, back you up a little bit here. We've gone from here all the way over to here. Hope you can see that. Let me tell you about some of these fabrics. Oh, I already have, haven't I? All right, where are we? Yes, I'll be sewing this to here. Yeah, I should have started it back over here more. Okay. My grandma did it that way. Take stitches, do a back stitch, bring your needle in a circle intersection, leaving seam allowance free. Yes, exactly. Well, if your grandmother did it this way, like, are you saying I'm doing it right? Please say I'm doing it right. It's very freestyle. It really is. So now we got to get this over here. Excuse me. Whoa, way too close there. Awesome. Thank you. There. We got to bring this over now to here like this. Spread it out, line it up. Like that. Get our pin in here so we know where to start and stop at the end. This and knitting is one of the most relaxing things I can do. I'll be out in the garden tomorrow because I'll be out in the garden tomorrow because I got to get more weeding done, and we're supposed to be getting rain all next week. Now, if you were doing this by hand and you don't trust yourself with the seam allowance, when you're making these pieces, okay, draw a seam line in there. Trust yourself. But I have cut all these blocks so precisely that I'm just doing the seam allowance as if it was like, I'm eyeballing the seam, guys. I'm eyeballing the seam. When I'm finished here, I'll show you what the stitching looks like on a darker piece. And I forgot to do my back stitch in that one, so I'll do it right now. And then I'm going to get right over here. Into the corner. Like that. Back stitch it through. Okay, now I'm just going to drop the needle for a minute. This is what I want to show you. Somebody asked to show my stitching. That's what my stitching looks like. And it has taken me most of my life to be able to get to this point of quilting. I'm looking at the... I knit and crochet too. I'm sorry, folks. I've got arthritis in my thumb and I crochet in summer only. I've been doing something with my hands. Yeah, me too, right? I can't, whoops. Yeah, oh God, don't look at the hair on my cheek. I forgot to shave. So, well, it's taken me quite a few years to get to this capability. See how I'm just, now see here, right? I line this piece of fabric up with the back of this. I don't go to the seam. I go past the seam and match this edge up with this edge. Like that. Put my pin in and then continue on. Double stitching a couple of times through the junction here where all of those blocks meet, because those are the spots that are going to need the most reinforcement, especially when you're stretching it onto the frame. I'm so hard on needles, I break them, guys. I have packages. Packages and packages of needles because I break them. And I want to get these quilts, these half-started quilts. I've got a friendship quilt. I've got my wool shop quilt. This one, friendship quilt, this one, wool shop quilt, and my grandmother's flower garden quilt, all to get done and put together. And I have a wedding next July for the good son, Alex. And I may want to do a quilt for them too. If I can get my stuff together fast enough and get my sewing machine repaired so that I can do what I call a fast quilt, like I do for my nephews. Those weren't fast, they took a while, but, right? Okay. You see how I lined the yellow block, the yellow piece up with the purple on the back? And now I'm going to do this. And pin it. And then continue. Thanks for hanging out with me for a little bit while I work on this quilt. The next time I do this, I may be working on the grandmother's flower garden quilt because I have to start putting those rows. I'm almost done the rows, like finished sewing the blocks for all the rows. I've got several rows sewn together, and then I have to, like in long rows, and then I have to sew a bunch more blocks in rows. Once those rows are done, I will start sewing those rows together in a quilt top. So I can, if you want to see me live while I'm working on my paper piece grandmother's flower garden quilt, that's fine. I could sit here and do this live all day if you want, but, well, today anyway, this afternoon. I only have a few hours a week that I can actually sit down and do this. Oh, right, Patreon is today. Thank you, darling. Thank you, thank you. What time is it? I might do my Patreon from here. So, but probably not. I'm going to let you guys go. Thanks for keeping me company while I work on putting this on there. And I don't mind that all the yellow is different shades. It's all a part of the charm. Okay, I was advised to never use polyester because it actually is the equivalent to plastic and can cut cotton fibers with wear and tear so that it shortens the life of the quilt. This quilt probably never get used. It'll be like a wall hanging. I love you guys. Take care. God bless. And if you want to see me work on the paper piece quilt another day, please let me know in the comments after this video closes. I love you. Mwah. Take care. God bless. I can't see very well with these glasses on.